If you ever want to take down Zest, though, all right, this is a bit of caster knowledge for you. I've seen Zest lose to players that he maybe shouldn't have lost to in tournaments, like very early on in tournaments, if they cannon rush him. He has been struggling with the cannon rush over the last year or so. Just not the only example, but the biggest example possibly is Probe Scout Samuel took him out in like round 1 of an ESL Cup. He was top seed. Probe Scout Samuel shows up 2-0. Zest is gone. Zest is out of the bracket. Cannon Rush, really good unit versus Zest, apparently, sometimes. It was like watching this like beautiful animal that was like the last of its kind. It's like noble. It's like a dragon, right? Just get like killed by this gross creature. Like Probe Scout's coming out of the ground and he's like, "Rawr," and his tentacles have cannons on him, and you just see the life slowly bleeding out of Zest as he nobly fights against it. It's like Elden Ring. It's like a Dark Souls boss. Like, it's this beautiful, skilled thing that's like honed his crafts for millions of hours, and in comes this guy with like a jar on his head and a club. He's put all his stats into only strength. There's like strength and HP, and he's just hitting him with the club. It's like, but I have this moveset. I have like 18 moves I can chain together. Probe Scout's just sitting there with a club, whacking him with cannons. We mixed our metaphors here, but you guys get the vivid imagery. So, Stalker, doing fucking gangbusters, excuse my language. 3 Marine kills? Are you serious? This is a very successful Stalker. It's very happy with its life. Zest, getting a forward pylon down in the vision blockers, is going to keep committing here, I think. He's researching Blink at home. This is a really, really good push from Zest. Six Marine kills for 0 losses. Okay, I guess the Zealot went down, but this is still insanely good for Zest. He's gonna proxy the gateway for quicker warp in as well, and why not? This is just so good. Combat shields and stim seem so far away for Byun. He's got 10 Marines to fight with right now. Okay, well, there's been no further action. These Stalkers don't want to trade. They don't want to trade shields for repair, so Byun will get stim and combat shields uncontested. +1 starting up at the NG Bay. Oh, now they choose to move in. Right when stim hits. Ay, ay, ay. 2 Stalkers blown up for Zest's hubris. Now, there are no medevacs. There is no starport, so every shot, every laser bolt that goes into a Marine is permanent damage. Oh, the bunker is actually blown up. There's no repair. And that's going to weaken the defense. These Stalkers can just leave and regen their shields. But as we noted, this bio is not regenning its HP. Starport still not complete for Byun. They come crashing down from the high ground. That's the best engagement Byun could have taken. He's continuing forward. We'll snipe another Stalker. Now Zest has taken a 3rd Nexus behind this push. +1 is closer than it is far away for a Terran. Marauder slow, halfway done. Charge starting for Zest. Zest warps in a flanking squad of stalkers, and he's going to try to push high ground here. But, you know, as legendary tactician Sun Tzu would tell us, attacking high ground is really freaking hard, and that means Byun is going to hang on. He just had the better engagement position, and it really showed. Zest unable to break that high ground. Let's take a look at the trades. Byun still trading out worse, but I feel like the brunt of this was at the start of the game. 25 Marines, 2 SCVs, the bunker, and 2 Marauders so far against 9 Stalkers and a Zealot. And there's a lot of hull damage on about half of these Stalkers, so... First medevac shows up to work. This is like the morning crew at a job, okay? Like, they get there, the night crew hasn't done anything. So they're already exhausted like 15 minutes into the door, and here finally come their other co-workers to help out with the job, and everything gets cleaned up. But this one's already exhausted, and it still has 7 hours left in the workday. Isn't this so sad? It's going to be sent into battle with no energy. Since this medevac was like first in the door, it didn't even get a chance to go to Starbucks. Starbucks wasn't open. It was there at 4 o'clock in the morning sharp. There's the afternoon shift. Alright, this analogy has gone as far as it can go. Zest getting a fresh proxy off to the right side. He's taking a 4th Nexus. Byun pushing midfield. Is not going up against anything too flashy from Zest. It's all gateway units all the time. He has not moved up to higher tech just yet. He has the Robo, but he's just making obs right now. No Robo Bay in sight. Force fields cut off. A couple Marauders, a couple Marines. Deter the rest of the army, but this is kind of a fake out from Byun. He was able to burrow a mine. Zest did see it, did notice. Zest utilizes that proxy gateway we mentioned a little while earlier to get a Zealot run by going. It's a lot of SCVs transferring to the 3rd. Recall on the Zealot run by. And Zest is unable to connect with the 3rd base. Byun's got a very solid defense up and running. So it is very impressive to see Byun going toe-to-toe with Zest, considering the opening that Zest had, right? Just picking off almost 10 Marines with impunity, not losing a single, well, not losing anything other than 1 Zealot, keeping Byun in check, able to take that super safe 3rd expanse, and Byun's still very much in this game. Byun has never, like, taken a decisive defeat. He's got a solid army supply. He's got solid upgrades. And it looks like he's finally ready to really take the fight to Zest. Shuts down the proxy on the right. He just dives on in there. Down goes the pylon. Down goes the gateway. 2 very low energy medevacs supporting this push into the Protoss 4th base. In the meantime, Byun trying to break into the natural as well. There's just gateway units here to defend for Zest. Is it gonna be enough? This is some very orange, very red health bio. I kept harping on these medevacs being low energy, but we're finally seeing those chickens come to roost as Zest is able to hold on with 2 Immortals and a bunch of charge lots. Byun trying to rotate these 2 medevacs into the main of his opponent, but I think Zest is onto him as a bunch of Stalkers are already prepared to respond. Byun stutter stepping forward, picks off 1 Immortal, picks off the 2nd, all the Stalkers die. He's dropping at Zest's third. Only 4 probes dying. And it looks like only 4 probes will die. The Stalkers almost all stay alive, blinking back to get health at the shield battery when needed. If only Terran had like a heal battery, you know, like a ground medevac that they could overcharge, dump coal into so it dispenses more HP. GG is called by Zest as Byun picks off 7 more probes, and that's the show. Zest facing a close defeat in map 1. And I do think we go to game 5 here. I'm very confident in stating that. It was by no means an overwhelming victory for Byun. Zest had the edge at the start of the game. Byun was under a lot of pressure to make a lot of things happen in order to pull off that win. Zest takes an expand. Byun takes an expand. Very non-violent opener for our 2 players. In fact, Byun skips the Reaper and goes right into Reactor. It's going to be a double Marine opener. There's a second Rax. I'm sure a third is soon to follow. Byun gearing up for a 2-base play, it looks like. Totally different tactics from our first map. Zest runs forward to Zealot to get a delay on the second CC, but anyone who's played like the Micro Practice arcade map, I can't remember what it's called. It's Micro something. Micro Wars, maybe? Micro Master? That's it, isn't it? Micro Master. Yeah, you just keep kiting the Marines back and you can defeat a Zealot all day, any day. The Stalker friend moves forward, but this is too much. This is too much. Beyond skipping the Reaper, but defending his natural admirably. That means it's going to grow up to be a nice, happy, healthy orbital right on time. Exactly when it was meant to. Bunker finishes. All is right with the world at the Terran base. Zest is choosing to go blink. Drops down a robotics facility. Byun. Getting stim, getting combat shields. I mean, this is 3 racks, folks. This is... You know what's going to happen. He's going to mass Marine. He's going to mass Marauder. He is going to A-move the clump of bio at Zest. It's a very simple strategy. It's a very effective strategy. And, of course, it gets a little more intense once you're in the heat of battle, but... Zest moves out to meet the Terran. No units die yet. but injuries occur on both sides. No stim yet for Byun to run down these stalkers. He's losing a lot here. This is very excellent kiting from Zest. 5 Marines dead. Nothing lost for Zest. Still no stalkers lost. First stalker has fallen. Zest trying to bleed out the stim as much as possible. Wear as much off the timer. There we go. There's another stim. Byun takes out a pylon. And might be able to catch the Immortal. In fact, he will. The barrier's gone. Shields are gone. HP's gone. And despite some bad early trades, I think Byun comes out on top. 350 gas lost for the Protoss. So Byun, if only a tad, comes out on top in the engagement. However, Zest has his third Nexus, so he is going to be shooting way ahead in economy. Byun just getting his third base now. Starport on the way. Factory finished during the push. It's going to get a reactor on the side. Starport goes on the reactor. It looks like the factory should be getting a tech lab here very shortly. Marauder slow done for the Terran, +1. Within shooting distance of completion, fresh Immortal. Popping out of the Robo for Zest. Extended Thermal Lance and a Colossi are next up on order. For the pink toss, Byun advances down the right side of the map. The rocks are blown to smithereens. Sentry taken down before it can cast any spells. Shield battery out of energy, but we do have shield battery overcharge still in play. It looks like Byun is going to retreat to the Xel'Naga for now. Heal up some, and then very likely resume the attack. Zest is hanging on just fine though, and this time there's going to be extended thermal lance in play. Byun will resume the attack, but it's going to be a large drop, presumably in the main of Zest. Zest is sensing a disturbance in the force, pulls stalkers to the main to intercept these medevacs, and might be able to pick one before it can unload. Medevacs are easily frightened, but they'll be back in greater numbers. Byun, with strike forces both to the east and west, is getting ready for a two-prong on the Protoss. Now, the question remains, is he going to try and trap the army? Is he going to try and hit in the main and the third at the same time? He shows the right force, I think intentionally, while the left force repositions. He's trying to draw Zest's attention. He chooses to attack from the low ground. Takes out the pylon. This will depower the Robo as well as the Gateway. Cybercore under heavy threat. Zest does have to respect this. Byun does not attack with his right army. Enhanced shockwaves finishing for the Terran. I'm sure we're going to see Ghost production begin to kick into high gear. Speak of the devil, 3 of them hop onto the production tab right as the sentence is leaving my mouth. Armory down for the sick +2 bio upgrades, presumably. Zest with an absolutely massive zealot run by. This is 20 zealots. Is able to catch a ghost right away. Is able to catch all 3 ghosts. This is disastrous for Byun. Zest is in on the mineral line, carving these SCVs to shreds. Zest is got to be feeling really good. I mean, resetting the ghost count right at the start, Byun could have 7 ghosts on the field right now. He's only got 4. Byun has just got to be sad right now. He's got to be sad. He has to give up his map positioning. He's going to push back out again now that he does have ghosts, but yeah, you can't really engage the Protoss at this stage of the game without them. Nice EMP to start the engage, but unfortunately the EMP was nice against the Stalkers, and Byun needs to carve through this meat shield that is the several dozen zealots Zest brought to the table. Okay, the Immortals are going to form the second shield, but the right flank collapses for the Protoss, and all those very expensive Robo units are dead. Holy mackerel, that was a lot of zealots, but Byun got the job done, and Zest faces devastating losses. 3 Colossi, 8 Immortals, although 1 was picked off earlier in the game, so I think 7 Immortals during that engagement. Zest with the smallest run by we've seen from him in this game. It's only going to be 8 adepts, or excuse me, 8 zealots. They'll take out a radar tower, and 6 of them will escape alive. Byun still holding the Xel'Naga, still trying to keep Zest in check. Zest happily mining away on 4 Nexus against the 4 CC of Byun. Neither player seems ready to make a move for a 5th. GG is called. Zest just decides it's not worth continuing forward. Byun goes up 2-0. An impressive showing so far from our Blue Terran. A loss here for Zest means he will be eliminated from this Goodgame Cup. This is feeling like a proxy to me from Byun. Down goes the Rax. But I think this is just a 1 Rax proxy. I don't think we're going to see anything following it up. 1 gas goes down at home for the Terran. And this should just be for Reapers. Oh, wait a second. That's a 2nd gas. Keep an eye on you, buddy. Zest. It's blocking off the Reaper jump spot. Will be a Reaper opener from Byun. And with the way the SCV is moving, I don't think we're going to see a proxy factory I think this is just a Proxy Reaper. Or two. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. No, I couldn't be. Literally couldn't be anymore. Checkmate. We have a factory at home for Byun. Byun gets out the Reaper, lifts up the rack, starts loading it home. Into the main it goes, and several probes could potentially die here. It comes down the micro of Zest. This is really, really, really hard to do. Okay, only one probe dies. I mean, that just speaks to the caliber of Zest as a player. Any lesser Protoss would have lost a lot more there. Widow means back at home for Byun. A Zealot attacks ruthlessly at the supply depot. Will it eventually break through? Stargate for Zest. We don't mind, sir. Trying to push this Zealot away. Byun perhaps worried about a more substantial attack, and you know what? He'd be absolutely correct. Two Stalkers sitting menacingly on his ramp. Zest bringing forward a third Stalker as well. And a probe looks like it's going to throw down a pylon somewhere. Going to be a Phoenix play from Zest. Second one in production at the Stargate. First one already afield. Byun trying to get his Widowmine drop off. Is intercepted by a Stalker. Will need to repair the medevac. Cyclone gets a lock on the Zealot. It should die. Oh, wait, but here comes the Phoenix. Never mind. Never mind. Phoenix in the nick of time being a superhero. Byun really wants to make a play for this natural. He feels he can't wait any longer. One Stalker traded out for the Widow Mines. Cyclone floats helplessly in the air. The SCVs try to get the repair off, but it's not enough. Zest DPSs down the floating Cyclone. Handful of Marines ready themselves for the next wave of Protoss attack. This probe, by the way, never did drop a pylon. It's just chilling at the Xel'Naga, just keeping vision against any drops Byun might be planning. Zest with a bold calculation here, feeling he can use a couple lifts to kill off SCVs, as opposed to saving that energy to fight Byun's military. Keeps pumping those Phoenix, man. Raven enters play for Byun, but oh no, it's on a collision course with all of the Phoenix. Ooh, this is going to be a heck of a volley. Half the HP gone, and the Raven dies without a shot. No shot. Literally no shot. +1 starting up for Zest. Charge starting for Zest. Byun slowly eking out the Holy Trinity of Terran. Infantry upgrades. Stim combat shields +1. And he can't really do anything until those finish. He needs the upgrades to be able to march across the map, or he's going to be torn to shreds by Phoenix. He still might be torn to shreds anyway. A missile turret finishes in the mineral line, or this would have been a slaughter. Ooh, Byun splits his army in half. I don't know. Zest has stopped investing in Phoenix a while back to get better tech onto the field. Robotics facility is completing soon. +1 and charge will be operational by the time Byun arrives at Zest space. Zest took a third Nexus a while back and is happily mining from it. Byun just now starting the third CC. Here comes Zest. He does get the lifts on the Widow Mines before they can burrow. This is oppressive. This is an oppressive Phoenix play. Big delay on the third CC. No supply depots for you, Byun. No SCVs for you, Byun. A dozen workers dead before the Phoenix run out of energy and have to recall. Value Phoenix for Zest. I mean, this is kind of his forte, though. Look at the difference! Almost 10 times as much lost for Byun as Zest. Zest zipping back toward the blue natural. There is a missile turret here, but I don't know how much of a deterrent that'll be when half the mineral line is so vulnerable. Oh no. Four more SCVs go down, and that's about 8% of the Terran economy. That's nothing to sneer at. He's only at 47 workers. Well, I guess when you factor in mules, it's a bit less, but as far as SCV count, it's about 8%. Zest, the massive charge lot run by down the right side. Pride of Altaris. Byun pretty much needs this push to end the game. He's going to take a lot of worker losses from this run by, and it's going to be hard to recover unless he causes massive critical damage here. Snipes the Disruptor. A great start to this fight for Byun. He can definitely win the engagement. It's going to be tough, but it's certainly doable. A lot is going to come down to the Widowmine shots. 3 Marines die to the Disruptor. Oof. The Widowmine's turn trader hit the Phoenix and wound the entire Terran army. In the top right, Zest has momentum in his favor, and his first point on the board. Shopify Rebellion's Byun down in the bottom left corner. It's another proxy from Byun. This is a super forward proxy. The rally point definitely 100%, most certainly tells us he's going to open Reaper. Scout by Zest. This time, the SCV will not die to probes. Reaper starts up in the racks. Zest, unfortunately, doesn't have much he can do to react. He can start the Zealot, but, well, I guess he could chrono the Zealot, right? Chooses not to chrono. He doesn't need to. He knows what time this Reaper is coming for him, and it's gonna be after the Zealot pops, so he's okay with that life choice. He's okay with that decision. Here's Johnny. Reaper starts kiting around the back of the mineral line. Does it though? No, it decides to slide out the front. It will live, which is very important for it. And Byun's already floating the racks home. Immediately drops the factory. There's the landing zone for the barracks. And the NG Bay is cleaned up in the natural. Very nice scouting, very nice defense from Zest. And I put him in the lead here at the start of the game. Another Stargate opener from Zest. I wouldn't be surprised to see Phoenix again. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Zest is so good with his Phoenix, and it worked last game. It brought him great success. And now, emboldened by a shutdown of the Proxy Reaper, Phoenix could very well be on the menu. Let's see. It's an Oracle opener this time. Zest mixing things up. He could still follow it with Phoenix, but it's by no means guaranteed. Zest taking a circuitous route to Byun's base, wants to make absolutely sure there's no more proxies afoot. He doesn't attack. He doesn't attack with the Oracle, at least not immediately. Well, as a result of not attacking with the Oracle, if he goes in now, he's going to be facing down 2 Cyclones, and that's just simply not going to work out for him. Zest drops the 3rd Nexus. Byun has 3 racks and a factory on the field. This means he is going to make a 2-base play. There's Stim, there's combat shields, and +1. Follows shortly thereafter. All we do is kick back, relax, wait for the upgrades on both sides to finish, and then the action should begin. Now, Zest has been doing a great job so far kiting Byun across the map. Hopefully he can keep that up. Take out a lot of the Terran army before it even reaches his base. But unlike the previous maps, Byun does have Stim this time. It's only a few seconds away, and when he starts to move out, he has every opportunity in the world to overrun these Stalkers. Hallucinated Oracle absorbs the Mind Shot, meaning the Stalkers go pretty unharmed. Double Cyclone on the high ground picks the Hallucinated Oracle, which means these guys actually just can't attack anymore. They can't attack anymore at all into the main and beyond. They have to go into the natural if they want. Zest gets a revelation off with the real Oracle. Stim stun, as are combat shields. +1 is gonna hit around 630, I think. And, you know, it's exactly like I said. This time he has Stim. This time he can catch a few of these Stalkers, kill them off. Charge is completed for the Protoss, making these Zealots all the more powerful. Zest is ready to take some map presence back. Or is he? He does see the rocks going down. +1 done for the Protoss. In comes Byun. Zest has split off a large chunk of his army to counterattack Byun. Cyclones are not the best units to deal with Zealots. You can see one of them dying already. Byun having to handle engagements on 3 fronts, whereas Zest is kind of just fire and forget with these charge lots. Byun is microing in multiple theaters of war. Still, 1 Zealot wreaking havoc in the net. 7 SCVs killed off so far. Zest makes his play against the third base of Byun. And it's kind of anticlimactic. Like, he doesn't actually take down the orbital. He doesn't get any more SCVs. He just takes a couple parting shots at the Terran bio and readies another Zealot run by as he takes his 4th. So that seems to be where most of Zest's focus is at the moment. Just making sure his economy's up and running. He gets that static defense down. Gets out fresh units and finishes armor. That doesn't actually take attention, but it sounds like he's doing something right. Here comes the Prism with 4 high temps loaded into it. Ready to drop on Byun. The problem is you don't have Storm yet, so they would probably be better served as 2 Archons right now. I guess they're collecting energy, huh? Collecting energy for future Storm. And I don't think we're going to see Zest try to fight until Storm finishes. That would be a bit silly if he didn't wait for Storm. Hand Shockwaves in development. This time, I don't think the initial 3 ghosts are going to be caught out by a Zealot run by. I mean, it could happen. Anything could happen. But Byun is much closer to home this game. And seconds away from rendezvousing with the ghosts. Well, I don't know. Zest is coming in to the right side. No. He's just massing his army. Okay. Where did Probes die? I'm unclear. It's like back there. High Templar and an Archon go down. The first storms finally dropped. The bottom side of Byun's army is very, very, very weak right now. Very low HP, but Byun has an excellent concave here. Zest pushing through his own force fields. Is it going to be enough? Not yet, but that storm may have done it. Well, the boys are pulled into battle, and they didn't actually take any damage from that storm, so they're going to be able to tank a lot for the bio. Only 1 Archon here to help splash them down. Byun holds. He's down in army supply, but he holds. 4 of these Stalkers in the red, another in the orange, several more in the yellow. Zest climbs the ramp. 4 more high temps warped in. Byun is just fending off attacks from Zest. Now, the problem I see moving forward is that he's not able to take the fight to Zest. I feel like that's where Byun's most comfortable. When he is putting pressure on his opponent, and right now he is facing a heck of a lot of pressure. Giant storm drops on the SCV line. are going to kill off a baker's dozen of their number. Extended Thermal Lance and Colossi finish up for Zest. Got some more armor on the way as well. Fresh weapons for the Protoss army, and he is going to sally forth to once again try and break Byun. Blink dodge on the mine shot is going to serve Zest very well. Factory should get it lit on fire here very shortly. Nice positioning on Zest's part. Colossi are doing very well against these stacked up SCVs. However, there's nothing left to shield for all of these squishy units. Fresh Zealots run to the front. There's still a decent amount of bio. They can take out the Colossi, or can they? They get one, and it looks like Byun holds question mark. Like, he keeps his base is alive, but he lost a lot of SCVs. He doesn't have a bank, and he's down in army supply. Radar tower blown up. Supply depot is soon to be blown up. Down goes the missile turret, so this Colossi can potentially just, you know, start going to town if they need a position in this back corner. Several more Archons will be joining this army, and I'm not sure Byun has what he needs to stop it this time. Two of the Archons come in for a flank. Oh no, the medevac's out of energy, and that means the bio is going to melt super fast to the remaining Colossi. GG. As we head on to Hardwire. One last time, it's Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Zest and Shopify Rebellion's Byun, spawning cross corners, as you will in every game of StarCraft. There used to be a time you didn't. There used to be a time where we had 4-player maps, and those 4-player maps would give you random spawn positions, so you could have close spawns. You could both be on the same side of the map. And you could scout in the wrong direction and just not find your opponent in time and die because you didn't scout. You weren't able to scout. You went in the wrong direction. GG. Those days were actually really fun to me, but many other people didn't think so. So we got spawns in the same position every time. I miss 4-player maps. So we got, like, huge momentum. Buku momentum to Zest right now. Is he going to be able to carry that momentum into a victory? Byun was very, very good in the first couple games, but as we noted, was not decisive. He's on a big losing streak against Zest that can affect your mentality. And it looks like he's going for another 2-base play. There's barracks number 2. This time he's not trying any proxy shenanigans, though. So he is going to have a couple extra Marines this time around. Zest is dispensing with the Stargate this game and is going to be going into Twilight Council. Very likely Blink as the tech of choice. Byun doing a 5 Marine run by? Or is he? 4 Marine. My bad. He's gonna come in from the back, try to catch the Stalker. I mean, he kind of catches the Stalker, but it does have the ability to teleport, so it will be recalled home for Zest. There it is. Cold is the void. Oh my god, it's a Dark Shrine play. Zest with a Dark Shrine. Didn't see that one coming. No, get in the bunker. Okay. Okay, they make it to the bunker. It took them a while, but they got there eventually. Zest is going to go for an Immortal first from the Robo. Which is interesting because he went... Oh, no, I'm sorry. He already made a Prism while we were watching the Stalkers. How silly of me. Caster fail. I guess this is only the second one of the day, so we're doing pretty good. Pretty good. 10 games. 2 caster fails. 3 DTs warp in for Zest. They go on the prowl. They go on the attack. There's no detection here from Byun, but he does have scans. But also, he doesn't really have enough units to deal with this. He's got 4 Marines. 5 if you count the one in the bunker. Byun's like, screw it. I gotta attack. Zest could warp in a DT here and force yet another scan from Byun. Looks like he doesn't want to. He sees a lifted, so no scan there. This one has plenty of energy. Here comes Zest. I don't think he actually commits to this attack all the way. Does he? Oh my god, he might. +1 just starting for Byun. This is like a real unfortunate situation for a Terran. It's questionable if he'll be able to hold this Protoss push. There is no blink here for Zest, but I mean, he's got DTs and he's got Archons, so Byun has energy for 1 scan right now. DTs come into play. And I mean, the Marines are just annihilated. GG. GG. 20 SCVs and a handful of Marines put up a brave defense, but Zest crushing Byun.